Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Rational Programming. Today, I want to talk to you about the tasks that I set out this week to start building the estate agency app. Basically, this week, I set myself out just a few tasks just to get me started, and I realized that as I was looking at what I had to do, each task had an action that actually required a much deeper level of understanding in terms of the technologies that I was using. So I realized that each required action for each technology was full of information that you can go down a rabbit hole for each one, for as long as you could give it time. And so I realized that I needed to take a step back and maybe take a bird's eye view of what it is I'm actually trying to accomplish. And so by doing this, I realized that I needed to ask some basic questions. So what I decided to do was to take an even further step back by, I don't know, looking at how does the internet work? So putting what I'm doing down and picking up something that I already have a certain level of understanding about and trying to basically fall back on my basics, because the basics are everywhere. That's what carry us through the complex, knowing your basics. So by understanding how the internet works, asking questions like, why do I use the internet? What's its purpose? How do other people use the internet? What do they use it for? Where does the information come from on the internet? What information does the internet need in order for it to work for us? Asking these questions can be so beneficial because you're now studying something you know already and you're reinforcing what you know already. So you know it's working. You know you're relearning if you're getting a deeper understanding of something that you already know. So when I started with the tasks that I needed to fulfill this week, they were to add Firebase to my application. They were to add pages to my application that basically were the journey through the website. They didn't have anything on the pages, just blank pages, but you knew that on the first page had a little bit of HTML just to let you know that you're on the sign in page all the way to the sign out page. And also I had a previous project that I needed to add SAS to. So these are pretty simple tasks. However, if you've never done them before, they are not as simple as you think they are or they seem. So I basically use the same questions that I used before in learning about the internet. What is Firebase? What is its purpose? Why do I need it? What's an SDK? What's a router? How does it work in React? Why do I use SAS instead of CSS? Why do people use SAS? What information could I make much easier to understand by using SAS? Why is it beneficial? What do I need it for? So by asking these questions, I was able to gain a much deeper understanding of the technologies that were keeping me up at night. I was able to basically find a certain level of relief in the mind by making more connections among certain technologies by asking very, very basic questions. So I found that by using basic objective questions to understand subjects that maybe complex to yourself is the easiest way to break down a problem into smaller pieces, more understandable pieces that your mind can digest, and essentially make more connections in terms of problem solving. If there are bugs, if you need to speak to someone that's you're building the technology with, a partner that you're building with, you're able to explain what it is you're trying to accomplish and how you're going to accomplish those tasks on a far more comprehensive level. And so this was probably the biggest lesson for me learning this week about the technologies was, although I did build and fulfill the tasks, I went back and reevaluated what kept me up at night by asking questions about something I knew already and applying those same questions to something brand new. And I actually I actually made a list of the technologies that I basically had to go back and study, and I want to talk to you, those of you, about each of those technologies and how they apply to my project, by also analyzing these technologies and asking those same basic questions about those individual technologies, and then ultimately seeing how they all are connected to each other to help me accomplish my desired goal, which is a functional application. So this week was a very different from last week, simply because although the technologies exist out there, how do we process them in our minds? How do we learn new things and apply them so that we are far more effective if in any case we need to fix something or upgrade something? Surely we must be, or I must be, far more equipped with a deeper understanding of each technology by not only just building my app, but learning from it. It's giving something back to me. I'm not just giving everything I have to the app to make it work. Your app, my app, must give something to me that will enable me to be far more efficient when I build another app, the next app. So I'm very happy about this week's lessons, and I look forward to discussing some of the specific technologies that I used on to clarify why they work, why we use them, and why they're important. So stay tuned for the next episode of Rational Programming, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.